Hello, and welcome to episode 176 of Prog Review. And today, hopefully without the children bursting, because I'm doing this in the hours of daylight, and they've already interrupted me twice before, I shall be attempting to talk about Ogden's Nut Gone Flake by the Small Faces. But before we start, let's have a look at this spiffy reissue of the album from last year, from 2012. So I'm going to hand you over to my good friend, Darren. Take it away, Darren.
Why, thank you, Darren. And this is an unboxing. Here we go. Oh, yeah. This is, this is an unboxing video in the middle of a review. How did that happen? We purchased this from that there burning shed, and they gave me a free CD. Look, what a load of crap. I don't want that. Off it goes. You ready? Whee! So, yeah, this is, Ogden's Nut Gone Flake even, and this is a special issue from 2012, and this was like an American issue that wasn't allowed over here, but now you can buy it over here on import or something. But I got it for £21 something from that there burning shed with the extortionate postal charges. But there you go. So there you go. It's on Charlie Records. It's well, as you can see, it's all sealed up, and I don't know if I want to open it. It looks so nice that oh dear. But alas, I fear the knife comes for everyone. So let me just zoom in, extreme close up, man, and I don't want to do this. Anyway, let's be brave. Come on, Swissy. Let's find our way in, shall we? Oh, gently. Oh, gently. A bit more. Go on. Oh, I can't watch. I can't bear to look. And I think that should have, that's given us some purchase. Give us some elbow room to get in there, and that's that. But yeah, so what this is it's kind of like a replica of the original album. Because if you're not familiar, the original album came in a. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to go off screen. I'm going to get it out. And when I mean get it out, I don't mean my private parts. I mean I'm going to open the box. It's very stiff. That's what she said. Let's get all the innuendos out of the way, shall we? But I'm having a oh god, I don't want to damage it. I hate these packages, these special bleeding packages. But anyway, I seem to have eased it off, and there we go. We're now inside. But yeah, this replicates the original album packaging. It was in a circular box, and it's very nice. I've just got to get all the junk out now, and I don't want to tear anything because that feels incredibly flimsy. This thing on this booklet on the top. Oh, he's using the knife. Oh god. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this is very flimsy indeed. Look, I don't know if you can see that. They could have used something a little bit thicker, higher grade of paper for that. But oh dear. But there we go. And this opens up, and this I think replicates the original poster you would have got with the album. Again, this was all revolutionary stuff back in the day, circular album sleeves and circular posters. It must have cost a fortune to produce back then. I mean, nowadays, this kind of thing is, I wouldn't say relatively easy to do, but I'd imagine in production terms it's probably a lot cheaper to do it. And there you go. So that takes you back to 1968, does it not? So let's see what else is inside the box, shall we? Let's have a butcher's. Let's just empty it out into my hand. Right, so first up we have another little thing, and it's a little certificate telling me that it's 1201, or is it 1701? I can't tell. Of a limited pressing of 5,000. So, well, there you go. I don't know if that's good or not, do you? And this is the first disc. This is the mono mix of the record, which apparently is quite good. And and that's all you've got protected. All you people who get obsessed with scratch CDs are probably having palpitations. So that's all you've got there to protect it. This is the second CD, and this has a load of bonus material, load of bonus tracks and different mixes. And again, that is protected by that. Oh, look, they're spoiling us. And the third disc hasn't even got its own protective sheet. It has to share it, and that's the stereo version, of which we're all familiar with. I like the way how they've copied the immediate label. And here's the booklet goes with it. It has a little essay inside, so you can learn all about the album. There you go. On the promo material of its day. And yeah, it's all pretty good stuff. But it feels flimsy. I'm worried it's all going to fall apart in my hands. One wonders they couldn't have used something a little bit more durable. But there you go. It's a nice little booklet. Complements the set rather nicely. And there you go. There's all the credits, all the songs that appear on the discs. So there we have it. That's the booklet looked at. And again, the artwork's reproduced as well. And here we have kind of a profile of each member of the band. That's Ian McLagan, and there's Kenny Jones. Again, it's kind of replicating the poster, but they've done like coasters, drinks coasters. Would you rest your drinks coaster on Kenny Jones's face? I don't know. Steve Marriott, and that's it's the artwork reproduced again, the cover. And I think we're one missing. Are we? We were missing. Yes, it's stuck in the box. And there's the last one, which is of course Ronnie Lane. And yeah, I mean it's all right. It's all right. I don't know. I wouldn't want to I wouldn't use them as a drinks coaster. Again, I don't know what they are for. I think it's good, but it's an interesting piece of packaging. And now what I'm going to do is, with the magic of technology, put it all back in its box, like that, so it's all protected. And I'm going to hand you back to the big fat idiot who's going to tell you what he thinks of this record. Oh yes, indeed. Take it away, Darren.
Why, thank you, Darren. That was informative as ever. Fantastic. Now, the thing I like about Small Faces is they speak and sing my language. They speak and sing in the language of the East End of London. And whereas the Kinks are from the north of the capital, the Small Faces, I can actually kind of feel them in my DNA, if that makes any sense. And they're in no way, shape or form a progressive rock band. Oh no, they were a blues rock band that found themselves marketed as a pop band. And this album is probably the most progressive thing they ever did. It was the album that really stretched them as a band. Unfortunately, hopefully the big Small Faces fans don't mind me saying this, is they were quite limited in their musical ability. They weren't maestros of their instruments like some bands that we know, but they had a lot of charm, to get them through, and tunes as well. And this was proven when Steve Marriott left and they became the Faces with Rod Stewart. They still had the tunes. And Ogden's Nut Gone Flake has plenty of charm and tunes in its favour. And for those of you wondering, if this band or album is even still relevant in these cynical times, just go off on the YouTube and go and watch the official trailer for Grand Theft Auto 5, the video game. And you'll hear the title track from this album as its backing music. Yeah, it surprised me too. And you know what? It works. It does. It actually works. Oh yes, indeedy. The album itself was released on the 24th of May 1968, and the album, pushed itself as a unique work just by the packaging. Initial copies were released in a circular replica of a metal tobacco tin, and it's that's what you see reproduced in this 2012 reissue. Though the first side of it doesn't feature any concept musically, to me, the songs do feel connected. You hear bits of the first track echoed in the second track. Renee opens with a riff that you hear repeated in Lazy Sunday, and all through the first side there are references to each song on the album, or it could just be the band working through their repertoire. But I like to think it's the musical paraphrase, and it is actually a deliberate thing. In fact, the opening title track isn't an original work at all. It's the band stripping away the vocals and tweaking the arrangement of a song that they did called I've Got Mine, and it was a single that was a flop 3 years previously for them. But don't let that get you down and go, oh, it is a stonking riff, and the reworked version hits you right in the mush. Oh yes. Afterglow is another stonking blues-infused love song, but it's not one of those sissy love songs, with hearts and flowers. Oh, no. This is a love song right from the nutsack. Oh, yeah. It's got balls. Big, hairy East End balls. Now, this is followed by Long Ago's and Worlds Apart, which see the band returning to the same purple patch. Now the dog started snoring. The same purple patch where Itchy Coo Park came from. And then Renee is another thumping little ditty. And who doesn't love a little ditty, eh? Best when they come in pairs. And it's about a lady of ill repute who is the Docker's delight indeed. It's full of humour, and its roots come from the East End, the pub piano sing-along and the spirit of the music hall. It's all good fun. All good, clean fun, ladies and gentlemen. Then we have Song of the Baker, and it's a personal favourite of mine because the band take the humble job of the bread maker and turn it into something poetic and admirable. It's bonkers, but I guess they wrote the song because they needed the dough. You're a hard audience. But, I'd love to have been in the studio when they came up with this idea, melding an incongruous idea of, the baker with a heavy rock and roll beat. It's genius. It's just really clever beyond words. And the last track on the first side is Lazy Sunday. It's the hit, the one we all know. And it's a jaunty little number infused with that small faces humour we're all familiar with, same as Renee. And it's the story of a misunderstood guy who likes to have a good time. Me and you. And no, the neighbours aren't so keen. They never are. It's brilliant. Enough said. What more can you say about it? And you wouldn't get a song like this nowadays, because it features the words lumbago, Kazi, and doing my crusting. That's your homework for the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Write a song with those words in. The flip side to the record, if it was an LP. Features the actual concept part of the album, and it heavily features the work of Professor Stanley Unwin, who speaks Unwinese or Basic English 20 Fido, a mangled version of the English language which is part malaprop, part corruption, but utterly humorous. And as a child, Unwin used to leave me feeling a little uneasy, but there was something about his destruction and apparent contempt for the English language that was just too childish for me. But with age, I've mellowed and I've come to appreciate his work. The story itself is a fairy tale about happiness, Stan, and Unwin tells his story interspersed with the songs, from the band, and we follow his journey for the missing part of the moon. The songs are certainly engaging, and you see the band stretching themselves to tell the story, and parts of it include, especially the Hungry Intruder, remind me of what we're going to hear from The Who on Tommy. And indeed, it seems all these bands of this era were keen to sing a story to their audience. And there are parts of The Journey and Mad John which makes me think that the Pretty Things might have been listening to this before they finished their album SF Sorrow. So, that couple of years around 1967, the dog's really snoring now, and the release of Sgt. Pepper's seems to be like a very fertile time for the concept album. But back to Ogden's Nutgun Flake, the album concludes with a jolly little number called Happy Days Toy Town, which explains that life is indeed just a bowl of all bran. And the good thing about the Small Faces is they keep their philosophy simple and don't try in any way whatsoever to intellectualise their subject matter. Again, it's a song story about a character who undergoes a journey of discovery and comes through the other side enlightened. And it's the same themes that you see throughout these concept albums, starting point, enlightenment, journey, It can be plotted on a map. Simple thing. So, I mean, this is really a classic album. This is a unique album, as the Small Faces take the concept album idea and infuse it with humour and pop any possible pretentious pomposity you come to expect from that genre. It's not perfect. It's not perfect in any way. It's a rough diamond. It's a diamond in the rough. Did you catch that? That's the mating cry of the lesser spotted Herbie. I still get freaked out by, Stanley Unwin, but you have to put the album, this is what I have to live with, you have to put the album on the pedestal that, it deserves. And so, to state that, email, I'm going to start that bit again. And so, to state the bleeding well obvious, I'm forced by the unseen powers of prog, hallelujah, to give this 5, yes, count them, 5 buns in the oven out of 5. That's 5 buns in the oven out of 5. I mean, if you're not familiar with the Small Faces, you should check the record out, especially if you're following this concept album thread. You're probably all getting a bit bored with it now, but should give it a go, because it is unique to its time, and if you hold it up against the other albums of that ilk, it's a different spin on it. It really is. And this box set is just absolutely phenomenal. It's fantastic. And so that's it. Before we go, again, I'm going to urge you to join me on the social medias, the old Twitface and the Google Plus, whatever that is. And because, I think Herb's a bit angry with me for shutting him out. But yeah, join me on the social media, because you'll get all the updates there. And it also gives me another chance to nag at you for not buying my record. Remember, Americana, it's out there everywhere. I've only got 20 copies left. You better buy the bloody thing, alright? And with that, I'll say one more thing. And that one more thing is... Ready? If I get a quiet bit, are you ready for it? Prog on.